Welcome to Motion Time. Today we're gonna make something like this in Apple Motion. This video is similar to... I will link his channel below. Here is my project settings. I already prepared my text and background. For the text, I'm using this font, and for my background, just a simple purple with a circle, which like this. Let's start. I'm gonna clone my text source twice. After that, I'm gonna turn off my text source. I'm gonna name one of my clone as text source main and the other one as the mask source. So here on the text source main, I'm gonna add some fill to this. So go to filters, stylize, fill. Gonna change the color to green and leave it like that. Turn it up for a while. Here on my mask source, I'm gonna add some scrape filter. So go to filters, distortion, scrape, then turn off crop, change the rotation to 180, then adjust the Y a bit. Okay, gonna turn off my mask source. I'm gonna create now my liquid. So I'm gonna make a simple Bezier line, then take that out and reset the position. I'm gonna go to shape, turn off the fill, change the outline brush type from solid to airbrush, change the width to 50, go to stroke, and with over stroke, adjust the other end so that we can have a teardrop shape like this. I'm gonna rename this as particle source. I'm gonna clone this one, then turn off my particle source. I'm gonna rename this clone as liquid. Then this clone layer, I'm gonna make particles out of it. So press E on your keyboard or click this make particles. Then now, here on the shape, change the point to line. Then change the start point and end point to the width of the canvas. Then set the emission to 3D. Set the emission latitude to 270 and the rest to 0. Okay, let's take a look. So we will have this kind of particles now. I'm gonna change the light to 7, so it will be like this. Then change the scale randomness to 14. So there are times that the emitter or particle we have is in a different size. Then here on the opacity overlap, I'm gonna add some black here around like this, so it will be like this. Then this liquid, it should be on top of our text. So let's turn on our text source main group. Then change the position of our liquid group. So it should be like this. Okay. Now here on my liquid group, I'm gonna add some trails effect. So go to filters, time and trails. Then change the echo to 10. Then duration to 1. So we have a much longer look like this. Then I'm gonna add some Gaussian blur. So go to filters, blur, Gaussian blur. Set the amount to 10. So just like this. Then after that, I'm gonna add some min max filter. Let's zoom on our text. Filters, stylize, min max. So minimum, let's set it to 5. Then duplicate that. Change the mode to maximum and set it to 2. So we have something like this. Now let's add a levels effect so that our particles looks like they are clumped to each other. Filters, color, and levels. Then here on the histogram, I'm gonna change that to alpha and tweak it like this. Then the next thing we need to do is we're gonna mask this now. So Command Shift M. Then here on the mask source from earlier, we made already the mask source. So drag that there. Now it will look like this. Then let's add some fill to our liquid so that it will be similar to our text. So let's just drag this filter from the text source main to our liquid. And then this liquid group, let's clone this. Let's turn off our liquid group. Then let's rename this new clone as liquid clone. Then this liquid clone, let's add some indent filter so that we can see the separation of it from our text. So go to filters, stylize, indent. Now you see we have this look on our liquid. It made our liquid much more solid looking. In this case, you can play around with the indent filter here to suit your taste. But for me, I'm gonna just tweak it a little bit. Next thing I will do, I'm gonna add some levels filter so that I can get that edge a bit more pronounced. So I will go to filters, color, and levels. I'm gonna change the histogram again from RGB to alpha and then tweak this a bit. So just like this, looking much better. Then I'm gonna make a new group, Command-Shift-N, and put all liquid and text inside that group. I'm gonna rename it as source. Then gonna check fix resolution. Then this source, I'm gonna clone this twice. Gonna turn off our source. Then I'm gonna turn off the first clone. So this one, I'm gonna make this as my outline. So what I will gonna do is I'm gonna add a stroke filter. So go to filters, border, stroke. Then I'm gonna hide the source. So it will look like this. I'm gonna change the color to black. Then I'm gonna add a bump map filter here. Let's zoom on my text. So filters, distortion, bump map. Of course, I need to add my map source. I'm gonna make my map source Command-Shift-N. I'm gonna rename this as map source. I'm gonna add clouds here. So add object, generator, generators, and clouds. I'm gonna set the third and fourth layer strength to 0 and the third layer strength around like this. Then gonna turn that off. Gonna go to my stroke group, then drag the map source inside the well so it will look like this. Then I'm gonna add some crystallize filter. So filters, stylize, crystallize. This one will make my outline look like roughened edges. I'm gonna set the speed to 0, the size to 3, and uncheck smooth and feathering to 0. So it will look like this. But actually, we will just turn off bump map and just crystallize filter. So we will have this. Then I'm gonna name this group as stroke or outline. Then one thing I forgot, here on my clone layer, I'm gonna turn on the drop shadow, then change the opacity to 100 and the distance to 8. Now I'm gonna go back to my other clone. I'm gonna turn that on, so I will have something like this. Okay, then I'm gonna turn on also drop shadow on this one, then distance to 8. I think we're almost done. So I'm gonna add a stroke on my group. So filters, border, stroke, then change the color to black. And let's zoom on our text. So we have this. Let's rename this group as, what should we rename? Text final. Then let's group them, Command-Shift-N. Let's put all to that group. Then let's rename this as spooky title, spooky final. Then on this group, I'm gonna add some noise. So go to filters, stylize, add noise. Then I'm gonna change the amount to 0.03. This is what I usually set this for because the default setting is too harsh. For the type, I'm gonna change it to Gaussian noise. So it will look like this. Let's do some RAM preview. Okay. So we are done. We have made this spooky text in Apple Motion. I'm gonna put a link so that you can download this file. Thank you for watching and I hope you learned something in this tutorial. Don't forget to subscribe and like this video so that I will be motivated to create more motion tutorials for you. Thank you and see you again next time.